Disclaimer: everything that is discussed, posted is strictly for educational and historical purposes only. It does not promote nor condone illegal activities. Lloyd'S Ch Rawhide for XW. This is a story about Ch Rawhide and his past. Rawhide is a red 35 pounds male, off of Mean Gene and Ch Gator son. Rawhide is one of the best dogs I've ever had. Rawhide was about 12 months old when I bought him, his brother Woodenhead, and sister, Ch Peanut from Ronnie Doohan. Woodenhead, Rawhide's brother, was a dead game dog. At 18 months old, he was put to sleep because he didn't have any more teeth. At that point, I continued to school Rawhide and Peanut. Rawhide was first rolled with his brother Woodenhead at about 13 months old. I rolled them for about 10 minutes and Rawhide showed real good. Rawhide was then rolled at 15 months old with a dog that a friend of mine had. Rawhide was in control of the roll all the way. One day, friends of mine came over to roll dogs. They said they had a dog to stop Rawhide. Rawhide was then 18 months old. The other dog weighed around 40 pounds. The roll started and the other dog caught Rawhide on the ear for about 10 minutes, controlling the roll. When Rawhide was able to get in the shoulder, it took about 8 minutes and the other dog was picked up. At 24 months old, Rawhide was rolled again. People came with the shoulder dog and said that they would kill Rawhide. It was a good battle for about 15 minutes. Rawhide then stopped this dog in about 25 minutes. These people then realized that Rawhide was a good dog. I decided it was time to match Rawhide. At about 28 months old, I matched Rawhide into a brindle chest dog off of Hoodoo. This dog belonged to Jake Carroll. The night of the fight, all odds were against Rawhide. Both dogs were on weight and washed. With the dogs in the pit, the referee said face your dogs and release the fight was on. The brindle dog was in Rawhide's chest for about 17 minutes, but Rawhide would get him off by the nose. The brindle dog would shake Rawhide loose and would get right back in the chest. When the brindle dog would show a little fatigue, Rawhide started getting in the shoulder and stifle. The fight lasted 35 minutes and the brindle dog was picked up. Rawhide was matched again 6 months later. Rawhide went into a red dog bought by J. Hernandez and Smith for $1,000. This dog was said to have stopped the champion in 20 minutes. 3 days before the fight, someone called me and said that I would find Rawhide's guts all over the pit. I then told them they had to get to Rawhide's guts and that I didn't think they could get there. On the night of the fight, both dogs were on weight and washed. Rawhide was feeling really good. The dogs were put in the pit and the referee said face your dogs and release them. The red dog got on Rawhide's shoulder and Rawhide on the red dog's nose. Blood was running all over. The fight went on shoulder to shoulder, stifle to stifle and mouth to mouth for about 35 minutes. There was an out-of-hold count with Rawhide on top. The red dog was due to scratch and was unable to do so. Rawhide had a hard scratch and won the fight, which went 58 minutes. I was told that after this match someone was going to try to steal him, but they never got the chance because Rawhide was sent to a friend of mine for safekeeping. He was then returned a few months later when things were safe for him. That's when people around the country heard about Rawhide and he was hard to match. Rawhide was matched another time with F. Manganese in April. The match was to take place in Honey Island, Texas. 3 days before Rawhide was to fight, he had a lump under his jaw and on the throat. 24 hours before the fight I pulled out some infection. Again, at 15 hours, some infection came out. Also, he had a fever of 107 degrees. On the night of the fight at the pit site, I announced that Rawhide was ill. People were to bet as they pleased, but if it looked like Rawhide couldn't make it, I was going to pick him up because of his sickness. The match was as follows: Rawhide a red, the other dog a brindle. Both dogs were on weight and were washed. In the pit the referee said face your dogs and release them. The brindle dog got on Rawhide's ear. The scratches started at about 35 minutes. The fight went on for about 1 hour and 6 minutes. The brindle dog quit, making Rawhide champion. From then on, Rawhide was hard to match. I called all over the country, but couldn't get a match. One day a fellow called me from California and wanted to match Rawhide for $20,000. I agreed to fight for that amount, and I told him to send the forfeit of $5,000 to a friend of mine in Mississippi. He asked for a few days and would call back, but he never did. I kept Rawhide for a few more months, then sold him to Mike and Bonnie Lloyd, and boy, did RA sell me one hell of a dog. I went on and matched Rawhide one more time. He was matched into a dog named Wedge, a 4-time winner from a Barney bloodline, and I can see how Wedge won for. He was a hell of a head dog. Rawhide couldn't get to Wedge for about 40 minutes, but when he did, boy, he made him pay for it. At 120, he was on a down dog, and Wedge was picked up. Rawhide has now been retired to stud. His pups are young, but show a lot of fire and desire. I would like to thank RA and Tina for giving me the privilege to own such a fine animal. RA and Tina are two of the finest people I know, and I consider them to be true friends. Also, I don't think there is a better conditioner or dog man in the country. Thanks, RA and Tina, for your help and especially your friendship. And to Rawhide, the best little dog I ever owned, Mike Lloyd, Rude Dog Kennels. Well, there you have it, folks, the story of Lloyd's champion Rawhide for XW.